I think we know what's coming.
I've got nothing more to say to you. If you shoot
Oh,
me,
really? Ah! How about goodbye?
How about goodbye? You're working too hard.
Tits up!
If
Tits
true,
up!
You told Admiral Hackett to abandon the Destiny Ascension, sacrificing.
I've had enough.
I've had enough of your big fat mouth, bitch!
God, I want to punch an old woman in the face!
And he did. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Smack a Bitch in the Morning.
God damn, I think Loki was kicking it up a notch this morning.
Good morning.
Woo.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? How are you all doing out there this morning? Did you have a good weekend? I'll tell you what, my weekend started out a little frustrating.
Ooh, I do believe Loki will have a story for us.
Well, first of all, I think the Blizzard servers crashed
Oh God.
when Diablo hit, because you couldn't get in. You were in a queue, then you got booted, then you were in a queue, you got booted, you were in a queue and you got booted, then you got an error message. People were about to lose their minds and they were like, oh no, come in. And then you got in, you played for 5 minutes, and you went to team up with somebody, and it was like, unexpected network error. You have been booted back to the main game screen. Oh, well, thank you.
Way to go, guys. Big round of applause. Now, is it just me, or does this not sound a little bit strangely familiar?
It was a beta. It wasn't launched, but you know what? I fully expect all kinds of shenanigans and chaos when it does launch. in
Yeah,
June, yeah, June,
I
yeah,
think so. It's coming up. It's coming up.
June.
But launch days are always brutal, guys. I mean, geez. I mean, Diablo 2 Remastered had it. I'm sure D3 had it back in the day. So spare no expense. Just get ready for more of the usual when launch day comes.
Man Squatch, the launch day on Blizzard product. I remember what it was like when I played WoW and a new expansion dropped.
God.
Yes, yes, or Diablo 3 at launch.
Diablo 3 at launch. Or what was it? What did they do to our stove, Loki? I think the Romulans broke it for a few weeks there too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
that's what we're here to talk about this morning: is games as a service. How many games as a service can you think of? Well, let's see. I thought of Destiny 2, Fortnite, Final Fantasy 14, GTA Online, Diablo 3, and Diablo 4, and Star Trek Online.
yeah.
So I'm not
Yeah.
even going to bring up the Star Wars shit.
Oh God, no. No, just off the top of my head, no, pretty much everything you named. I'm really I always like to call myself a not a games as a service guy, but yeah, there's a few under my belt, but I try to do the best I can to kind of stay away from those because I just like full releases. You know what I mean? As much of a
Mhm.
rarity as it is these days, I prefer my Elder Scrolls Online. I'm with you there too, Project Storytime. I got a lot of catching up to do in that again, but I'm happy with it at least. You know, it's been relatively bug free. Mod usage is really nice. I like that they keep that door open. So I'm not opposed to games as a service, but there's a few out there that I take exception to because, well, greed. Greed is a very big issue.
How many Fortnite fans do we have out there? I know we've got the Winsies and the Twinsies and the Twin Towers and the Mark the Infinitely Tireds and
Mm.
how many Fortnite fans? Plug a one in chat if you're a Fortnite fan. I know we've got a lot of Fortnite fans.
Yeah.
Fortnite,
Fortnite.
Fortnite,
Waiting on a
Fortnite, right
Fortnite.
there, right
Fort-
there. Boom!
Yeah.
I knew
Woo.
I knew the redhead would be the first one to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I knew it. I hate Fortnite. I hate me
Hate
some
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
You know, it'd be easy for me to say I hate Vertner, but I'm gonna fairly judge it, and the only reason I say I hate these games is because I specified last week I'm really just not very good at PvP kind of thing. So when I suck at it, I have a kind of knee jerk reaction to say, "Oh, I hate this fucking game," when the truth is I'm just not good at it.
So let's talk about battle passes real quick. Diablo 4 is good to have a battle pass, ladies and gentlemen.
Excellent.
So you will pay for a season. I'm guessing it's going to be a season of you'll pay for a season $10 of in-game currency.
Ooh.
Keep that word on your tongues. In-game currency.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to pay. You got to pay. Some places have like, oh well, you can sign up for this, or you can pay extra to get this, or hey, give us $10 more, and we'll unlock this for you. Some places it's a lot more elaborate. Hey, you know what? Spend $10 in silver, and you can get the season pass. Oh, spend another $10 in silver, and we'll give you 10 levels off of that for free. Why do a
Yay.
season of something and maybe you're almost to that unlock point. You're running out of time. I know that I've got 67 days or 66 days now maybe to finish the season in Destiny 2 and I'm at level 70
Ooh.
and that's only been out for like a couple of weeks.
Of
So for
course.
me, the season's almost done. I'm almost
Yeah.
done with the seasonal rewards. So it'll all be bonus stuff after
Mm.
that. Loki's Morning of Mischief isn't a battle pass just a gamble. You're betting that the product would be worth it going forward.
Mm.
Unless you know that this is something you're gonna do. I would say what I did recently with Destiny was absolutely a gamble and an expensive gamble at that. Because not only did I get the the new season, the new expansion. I bought the 2 expansions before that I didn't have. So, or 3, 3. Yeah, it was 3, right? Yeah, I think so. It was 3, whatever it was. I didn't have it. I didn't get the last 2. Yeah, it was 3 total. So I didn't get the last 2, and I got this one. So, but I got a really good deal. So I got the new season with all the bonus. I got the new expansion with all the bonus stuff, plus the next 4 seasons. So I've got a whole year of content for $80.
Not
And
bad.
I think I got Witch King for $10 or Witch Queen for $10. And I got the one before that introduces another element, a frozen element thing for like $8. So, I mean, it depends on where you shop. If you shop right off the main store page, they're going to shib you
Oh
in the
yeah,
back.
they'll
You
gouge
just-
you.
You just got to know, where to shop. And my favorite place to shop for deals is Green Man Gaming. So I go to Green Man Gaming, I shop there. I hate the Epic Store. I hate a lot of the stuff on Steam. So I will go to Green Man Gaming and get it there. Now that doesn't mean I haven't had my own problems with that before, but it was always them and Ubisoft. I don't like the Ubisoft loader either. I don't like the EA app. I don't like any of that shit. Just give me one damn store to buy all this shit off. I don't want to.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was loving it when Origin flipped over to the new EA app. Little Zero just wants to sit down and play with his Sims family, and it's like, oh no, we're gonna uninstall all this shit, then make you wait while we install this new app, and then oh my god, okay, yeah, let's just sit through that, and oh great, yeah, thanks a lot, awesome, good job, guys, beautiful.
Good morning, Nick from Echo Base Network. How are
Good
you doing,
morning.
brother?
Actually, no, it wasn't The Sims that broke my cherry on that one. It was friggin' Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Just getting ready to fire that up. And it's like, nope, get rid of Origin. And it was through Steam too. That's the stupidest thing. So,
Yep.
no, we're gonna install the new EA app. Everything's gonna be there all at once for you. Yeah, wasn't it like that to begin with? Yeah, EA Play, something like that.
Brandon says he subs to you.
Ooh, I will, pardon me. I will take a look at the YouTube feeds, and if I'm not subbed to you already, I will resub.
Ooh, yes, Machiny, absolutely EA Play.
Mhm.
But Daryl the Derelict says Arwen can speak Sims. No shit. I believe that.
Oh, Susu, Arwen, Alba Bulba Breezu.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Dag. Yep,
Dag,
we get it.
dag.
We get
Oh my
it.
God.
I like
fucking
when
Sims people, man.
I like when the flirty Sims come up to you and they'll just kind of like wave at you and go, dag.
Dag.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Corbin Dallas. Yes. Mark the
Woohoo.
Retired. Woohoo.
Oh my god.
The thought bubble over Arwen is cats and wine 45% of the time.
Oh my god. Yeah, her whims are just nothing but collect cats and cook sausage.
How many Sims fans do we have in here? Bibbly boo.
We've probably got a few.
Wow. I didn't think that was still a thing. Multi-pass. Yes, Larry.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Ormal Tragbergonk. Zibu Kaka Corbid Biloob.
God, I don't know, something about waffles. I have no idea.
Arwen is a living video game character, and we love her.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I don't know. My Sims hours are starting to get scary. They're starting to approach the Skyrim numbers. I think give a few more long-term sessions and we'll have broken the 2,000 hour mark. God, I'm such a loser.
Yes. And for anybody that hasn't heard the news, Total War Warhammer 3 in just a few short days will be releasing the Chaos Dwarves.
Excellent.
So, and apparently you can have a giant flame-breathing Mecha Godzilla to unleash on your enemies. If that doesn't get you into this game, I don't know what will. As soon as I saw the preview for the Chaos Dwarves, I lost my shit. I was like, yes, Chaos Dwarves are back on the menu, boys.
Oh my goodness! And now I've been out of the Warhammer loop for a while. Is this a video game or y'all painting the figures?
No.
Tabletop
This is a video game. Okay, so let me get you up to date. So back in, let's see, I'm trying to find it. I'm actually trying to find it in my library here because I want to know exactly when the first game came out. Okay, so Total War Warhammer. Let's look at the store page real quick. We don't need you to make noise. Okay, so Total War Warhammer released in May of 2016. So almost 10 years ago. We got another year to go through before it's got its 10-year birthday. I hope we get something, our big finale then. So Warhammer comes out and it promises a whole bunch of games, whole bunch of stuff. I've actually got to go in and like rejudge this game. 2 was the greatest, but they need to do a lot more work on 3 and make it better. So everything you buy in this game, let's say you're like, oh my god, I want to get Norska. Okay, well, you pay $5 for that. You get Bretonia, Isabella von Karstein, Realm of the Wood Elves, all this bonus stuff. Grom Bredal, the Great White Dwarf, the King and the Warlord, the Grim and the Grave, Call of the Beastmen, Chaos Warriors, Blood for the Blood God, Blood for the Blood God.
Blood God.
Okay, so everything you buy carries over to Warhammer 2, which came out in, let's see, September of 2017.
So it's been a little minute.
It's been a little minute.
But it's still
2
going.
has a shit ton of stuff, but everything you bought in the first game carries over to the second game. So if you bought races, if you unlock stuff, you get everything from the first game.
See, I like that.
Oh, so do
like
I. Now you heard me call out the stuff. This has the Silence and the Fury, the Twisted and the Twilight, Skaven Chieftain, the Warden and the Paunch, Imric, the Shadow and the Blade, Reponse de Lyonnaise, the Hunter and the Beast, Gorrock, the Prophet and the Warlock, Tic-Tac-Toe. He's one of the lizard men. Curse of the Vampire Coast, Lockyer Fellheart, the Queen and the Crone, Aletha Nar, Rise of the Tomb Kings. Those are some badass mummies. Treach Craventail, Mortal Empires. Mortal Empires is everything being imported over to the new game. Blood for the Blood God 2, which you don't have to pay for, obviously, because you already got Blood for the Blood God. Steps of Isha, Rakarth, Thoric Ironbrow, and there's some stuff I'm not even calling out because it's freebies you get over at Creative Assembly. So there's freebie stuff that you get that's all DLC. So all that's DLC. Then we go over to Warhammer 3. Now, all the stuff from Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2 carry over to Warhammer 3.
Nice.
And all of that's finally unlocked. You can play with everything. And now we've got the Chaos Dwarves coming in April, on April
Beautiful.
13th.
Coming up. Woo, hold on to your butts.
It's time for an overhaul. Psychodwarf 9 with $2 super chat. Just past 807 hours in No Man's Sky. No shit.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. Thank you so much, Psychodwarf 9, for that $2 super chat, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
But we're talking
7 hours.
We're talking about a huge game once it all comes down to it, and they've got to make all those components work together. One of the things that people have been crazy for since the very beginning is Chaos Dwarves. When are we getting Chaos Dwarves? Are we going to get Chaos Dwarves? What game will we get Chaos Dwarves in? I mean, this has been like a huge question that has been going on and on and on. So the fact that they were like, okay, you all knew this was coming, it's not really a secret. We're giving you the Chaos Dwarves. So the dwarves in this game, obviously you think, in their mines toiling on their treasures and all that shit. And that's what they are. But then you've got dwarves that never settled in the the mountains. So you've got these dwarves that went off and they traveled north and they just keep going north into the chaos wastes, and they set up their own stronghold there and are twisted and turned by the evil dark magic there.
Right.
Blarwin, Black Arwen. I think Blarwin. Machini draws with the $2 super chat. That was yesterday. Blarwin is now a thing.
Wow. Is that true? Is that man? If I Google it, what type of results am I going to get? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Some of y'all are everywhere, but all of us are here, and we're out there and loving every minute of it. Blarwin.
And Helion, welcome to Mornings of Mischief. Helion.
Yeah.
Helion.
I like the shoulder tap there.
Everywhere. We are everywhere.
We are everywhere. We're wild and out there. Yeah. I look good with a tan, y'all. Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
I better not be that tan in a can crap. Go back.
Thank you. Thank you, Psychodork9 and Machini Draw for your $2 super chats. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and this one's just for you, gentlemen. We're going OG this morning. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill. And Larry has gifted 5 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. Thank you so very much, brother. That is so very generous of you.
You guys are killing it.
Brandon, Looney Tunes fan 2000 was gifted a membership. Lord Thoth was gifted a membership. Elijah Snow was gifted a membership. Floral from Under a Rock was gifted a membership. And Just a Guest was gifted a membership by Larry. Thank you guys so very much. And Larry, brother, this one's just for you and them. Welcome to the Viking Horde. Skull!
Hell yeah, burning it down.
That's right. Light the fires, Valhalla, and welcome 5 new members into the.
Wow, that's great. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen.
So, I mean, there are people that were upset that Warhammer 3 isn't as good as Warhammer 2, and I'm like, oh my god, you guys need to chill out and wait until they give us all the goodies they're going to give us, and then once it's said and done, then we need to decide, oh, but the siege system is broken and this and that. And I'm like, well, you got to give them a little bit of time, and they're not going to replace that. So you just got to deal with it. There are mods out there if you don't want to deal with the siege shit.
There's mods for everything, but it sounds like at least you guys are pretty much spoiled for choice when it all boils down to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We are absolutely spoiled for choice, but that's not really a games as a service. It doesn't have seasons. It just lets you do whatever, and you can play it offline. The stuff, man, like where we met, you can't play that shit offline. It's an internet constant connection. Diablo 3, Diablo 4, gotta have internet. Star Trek Online, gotta have internet. Fortnite, have to have internet. Can you play Fortnite without the internet? I mean, can you play it without it hooked up? I mean, I'm assuming you can because it's on PlayStation.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've played it once. I have no idea.
So
I couldn't tell you.
Again, out there, no, you can't. Mark the Infinitely Tired right there. No, you can't play without internet.
God,
so you got to have internet. So you can't play it without it.
God, that's crazy.
Star Trek Online, same way. Fortnite, Destiny, can't play it without an internet.
It's got to have internet. It's kind of a shame, but I mean, when I suppose I can't really complain too much because I mean, really, those games were built, designed, and intended to do what they're doing. The games as a service kind of thing. That's exactly what they were made for. So I mean, it'd be different than, say firing up a copy of Super Mario Brothers 3 or something and said, oh no, Nintendo needs to connect your Nintendo account to the Nintendo network. It's like, what? Excuse me? That'd be a little bit different. But I can't really fault the game for doing what it was pretty much built to do, but therein lies the whole thing where it's a double-edged sword. You got your Warhammers, which, like I said, spoil you for choice. And then you get the other corporations that will just nickel and dime gouge you for every penny you got.
And there's an aspect like what we were talking about last week where, everything's getting censored. You're pretty much getting censored. People are getting kicked off for games for talking crap.
Yeah. It hurt my feelings. Oh my.
I do on member streams.
Mm.
So we do on member streams. Every once in a blue moon, I might do an open mic in the mornings, a call in. But I usually only do like a person comes on for like 5 minutes, says their piece, and then poof, they're gone. And we'll have another person come up. But
You don't have random airheads like me that just ramble on for 35 minutes. My God, Zero, shut up already.
oh my God, he talks forever.
I know.
We got to do a Larson Sven.
Oh,
Sven.
dear God.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, take it for what it is. I don't know. Can you keep it up for an hour?
Oh yeah. I can keep it up for an hour.
Me too. I know Lars and Sven.
Oh
can do it
God,
for
that's so
several
gay.
hours. That
Was watching Arch last night, and seems Games Workshop is back to being woke where customers are concerned, and Blizzard has some real server issues. I have to attempt to log on several times to play StarCraft 2. That's because Diablo 4. It's going to kick everybody out of everything. It's not just here's the problem Blizzard is having. It's all connected, and if one thing breaks, everything breaks.
Yeah.
So there is no like, okay, well, if you're playing Diablo 3, you're over here. And if you're playing World of Warcraft, you're over here. No, they just threw everything on one giant thing and were like, all right, fight to the death to get on. And I mean, people will, people will. They'll pull the knives out and start fighting like Kirk and Spock on Vulcan.
Oh yeah, it's like Lurpas to the throat. I mean, God, if you could only imagine the trash talking they're probably yelling at their screen. God, it would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's why, I mean, when you talk about big releases like this, and this will be a big release, people have been clamoring for what, like 10 years now. It's going to be huge. So, I mean, all of you lining up to get ready to hop on launch day, I would say be very patient. Don't get your hopes up, because you're going to have some friggin' tidal waves coming at you.
Yeah.
That just goes without saying, because everybody's going to want to play this. So, I mean, then your servers are going to say, no, poof, give us a minute or a week. You never know.
No, you don't. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. This weekend was nuts. So it's just, they've got to get there. Diablo 4 has to get its crap together. It looks good. It plays good. The items look great. All of the stuff in it look great. It sounds great. They got the music right. They got the feel right. The CG cutscenes are great. But those damn servers have got to be top notch, ready to go. I'm shocked the Epic servers didn't crash with the new season of Fortnite. It has been hot.
Yeah, I'll just take your word for it, Mark. You will never catch me doing the Fortnite.
No, that's what he said.
Yeah.
And now it's like he's the Fortnite master. Jesters Darth Arlena says, "Good morning, Valhalla. Good morning. Jesters Darth Arlena.
Good morning."
Then
So
they're talking about platforming for Diablo 4. So how's that going to hold up? Like Outriders beta versus opening weekend. I tell you what, I have not used a lot of the cross platforming until recently. And Destiny 2 holds up just fine with cross between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. I play on my PC. Eris plays on the Xbox, and there's no real hiccups to speak of.
Good.
So it's just like hooking everything together and turning on the lights.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. So you've been taking part in the open beta. How many hours do you think you've put in?
over the weekend, probably 10 hours.
Not
over
bad.
the weekend. Not bad. No.
That's a
I
good
had
meaty chunk.
I had nothing to do Saturday.
Mm.
So except I did join a stream like first thing in the morning. Big shout out to eHacker John
Yeah.
for having me on. But I didn't wake up till like 5 minutes before he went live. So I was like, oh my God, it's all hooked up. I gotta hit
Fashionably
this
late.
and plug this back in because I don't have two computers at the moment. I only have one. So,
Oh,
and I'm not bitching. I thank the gods that Betty here still works just great, but
that's good.
Sparta's down for the count.
Zero
has to have
Plum. Who
has
is
to have a
that?
transplant. That's you. Zero Plum.
I was hoping to avoid it. I have 2 plums.
Zero plums.
I don't think I have that picture anymore. It's gone the way of the dinosaurs, but that's all right.
Remember when Bethesda overestimated the numbers of servers they needed for Fallout 76? It led to huge maps that with only had 4 people on it. Yeah.
Remember when Bethesda estimated that Fallout 76 was going to work and it was going to be fun to play and people were actually going to enjoy it?
Oh, I've got a better one than that. Do you remember when EA told everyone that Anthem would be the Bob Dylan of gaming and that BioWare was going to lead the charge and be the greatest games as a service game of all time?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
There's like 2 people still playing Anthem.
I didn't even know it was still running. I do remember. I mean, can you imagine? Oh, don't worry, folks. The old BioWare magic will kick in and everything will be right with the world when it's all said and done. Yeah, but when you don't tell your development team the game they're actually supposed to make, when you legitimately show them a cinematic trailer and say, here, folks, this is the game you're making. Get on it. Oh, by the way, let me check the calendar. Yeah, it's out in a year. Good luck with all that. Yeah.
And good morning to Orgeboard. How are you doing, brother? He says, let's go. Yeah.
Woo! Where are we going? We're going out for waffles and sausage.
Yeah, he had so much hope for Anthem. That's right. And so did I. I was like, damn, this better be good. It's going to be good. And I got in there and I was like, yeah.
I never even attempted it. I watched several videos, gameplay, tutorials, things of that nature. And I just kept thinking, no, this isn't for me. It's just not for me.
Mark the Ampling Tired says the DNA check came back from Sparta's fluid check. Low key, the results are not good. They show mixichlorians all in her system.
No.
I knew that. I knew.
He's thin ice, man.
Playing with her ports again. I tell you what.
Jeez. I'm with you there, Project Storytime. Hell yeah.
Supposedly, they're doing a remaster of the original game. And that'll be out before Dragon Age 4.
All
so
right.
they're mid thrust into making a remaster of 1. And of course they'll take out all the fun bits.
Yeah, most likely. Who knows? Have you ever played Alice Madness Returns? I did, probably when it came out, so I don't remember too much about it. But yes, it was on my list.
Project Cambrian says Anthem and Destiny didn't impress me at all. Visually presented without titles, look like the same game to me. Homogenized design.
I could totally see the comparison because I did try Destiny, and that was the number one thing I kept hearing back in the day when it was coming up on launch. It's like, oh well, if you've played Destiny, you've already played Anthem. Except Destiny runs a little better.
Well, the Anthem had the suits too. You were in those
Mhm.
you were in those battle suits or whatever, and that was kind of
Yeah.
interesting. You had a couple different versions of it,
Yeah.
but when it came down to it, the 3 different versions had very similar traits. I'm not going to say abilities, but they had very similar traits to what's in Destiny.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
in Destiny, you've got 3 classes. You've got your hunter, you've got your titan, and you've got your warlock.
Yeah.
And
It's,
each one has different abilities. Each one has different level ups. Each one has different things they're good at, things they're not good at. So you had
yeah.
4 suits, Machini. There you go. 4
Mhm.
suits, 4 different kinds of suits.
A remaster of Dragon Age Origins or a reimagining? I'd imagine it would
It's a
just be a
remaster.
remaster.
It's a
Yeah, I mean, they
remaster.
they did it with Mass Effect, they did it with Kingdoms of Amalur, so I'd imagine it would just be like, with a game that old, I'd imagine it would pretty much just be a remaster. Yeah, you talk about the suits, it kinda reminded me a lot of, Warframe. I know they were slightly different, but, like Space Ninjas and
Yep.
stuff, and
And
I don't
Warframe did really well.
yeah.
Warframe did really well for a
Mhm.
while.
Yeah. I
Larry
think I
Larry deleted Cyberpunk 2077.
So did I. I figure I'll just wait several more years when all the patches are finally up and running,
I
but
got about halfway
yeah.
through the
I
game.
I
I
wanna
got
say sorry, I wanna say I was a quarter way through, and then I literally hit a game-breaking bug, and it destroyed my current objective, and I had no way of finishing it, so I said, "Yep, okay, we'll put this on the shelf for now."
they went through and did a lot of fixes and a lot of touch-ups and a lot of
Mhm.
add-ins, and it was just this is the problem trying to work on a game for essentially like 6 systems.
Yeah.
It's not just the last gen. Porting it to last gen consoles was a mistake. No, I absolutely agree.
Mhm.
And you look at Bethesda's, what is it? Their new space game, whatever the hell the name of it is.
Starfield.
Starfield, right? Okay. So last fall, they put it on hiatus for 6 months. They said, "All right, everybody, the game's doing great, but we've got to make some touch-ups. There's little touch-ups it needs here and there, so we're going to push it back because we want you to have the ultimate playing experience."
Mhm.
And now they pushed it back to next fall.
Yeah, so we'll see. I guarantee you,
That's a year.
Yeah. I guarantee you, day one, someone's going to land on some random planet and they're going to stumble between like a rocky cave or a crevice somewhere, and they're going to find a chest with all the inventory items in it.
So here's the problem. They say it's touch-ups and they want you to have the ultimate gaming experience, but then they push it back another 6 months.
Hmm.
So that's a year.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Yeah.
year you're going to be waiting.
Yeah.
Next year,
We're talking large chunks of delay time here. So, something in the foundation is still got some cracks in it.
and they're supposed to be using a modified engine, but if they have anything in there tied to 76, this is going to go
Oh
horribly
God.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't pre-order it, folks. I know I'm excited for it too. That's a little bit of Bethesda fanboy that's left there because it's a brand new IP from them. So I'm sure it'll be fine somewhere down the run, but I'm not going to pre-order anything. I'm just going to let it launch, let it see how it goes. They'll probably fix what they need to fix, and then we'll go from there.
So, I know Dega played through all of 2077. I'm sure he did once or twice, right? Even when it was like broken and baked,
Yeah.
he was still fighting his way through it.
Yeah.
So
I will clarify, just I will specify this. The time that I did put into Cyberpunk, I did enjoy it. Legitimately did enjoy it. It was just when I hit that real ultimate snag where my quest broke and I couldn't finish it. I just thought, okay, you know what? I got some time. I'll let him iron everything out. So someday I'm sure I'll get back into it. Although my save file has probably long been destroyed since then.
Machini draws with the $5 super chat. Let's get it highlighted. Suicide Squad kills. Rocksteady is going to crash and burn, and I'm here for it. Looks like everything wrong with live service titles. Look at it.
Yeah.
Let's look at it the way Rocksteady's looking at it. Okay, we're gonna make a generic Overwatch. We're gonna make a generic Overwatch Destiny clone. We're gonna throw some Fortnite stuff in there. We're gonna sell skins. We're gonna sell
Yay.
weapon skins. And then we're gonna come out and go, hey guys, it's totally cool because none of the stuff we're selling you makes you more powerful. So you like totally got to earn that on your own. Just buy our $20 skin packs each week when we come out with one, yeah? Because we're not going to give you any. And I understand. Let me break something down to you. When me and Zero were in our 20s, all that shit was free.
Yeah.
So when we played a Dead or Alive game, guess what? You got a whole shitload of skins as you played the game. So when your buddies came over and you're like, dude, why is she like totally wearing a bikini, man? Because I worked my ass off beating the hell out of everybody with her so I could unlock it. You're totally rad, man. Now you just buy that shit.
Yeah.
You just buy it. You don't even have the option of unlocking it.
Yeah. The sense of appreciation has just long since disappeared. And one more to go back to digital extremes, because I find this really funny. I remember a few years ago, I forget her name, but she voiced the whatever her name was, but she and her development team were doing a live chat with players of the game and stuff, and they were asking them, well, what type of packs do you guys want? What do you want in this? What do you guys want to get with that? And I thought, wow, that is such a transparent, refreshing way to go. Like, engage with your audience in real time, figure out what they want and implement it then. And funnily enough, I think I mentioned this before, but Digital Extremes is located right in my city. I could walk down. I know exactly what street it's on. If you guys want to have a laugh, do a Google Earth or a Google Map like image of the Digital Extreme studio. You could walk right past it and you wouldn't even know it was there. It is like a little alcove on one of our downtown strips. It's probably like 15 minutes from my house here, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Typical Canadian studio don't really want to show off anything.
That used to be Bioware. Mahogany draws with $5 super chat, and the fact that it's Kevin Conroy's last performance as Batman makes it worse.
Oh God, that's sad, isn't it?
It is. Thank you so much, Mahogany, for those $5 super chats. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and this one is just for you, brother. Skull!
Long live the fighters!
Alina's Jester of Sin is a 30-month member chat.
Wow.
We're of Loki's army. Thank you so very much, Arlena's Jester of Sin. Says, awesome. I played Cyberpunk on release. When it was running, it was amazing, despite the gut content. Loved my time there, but I was playing on PS4 Pro, so it only crashed once every 4 hours.
That's not bad. Also, when were we in our 20s? Last year?
No. No, it's further back.
It's been a little bit. We still sound young. We still feel young, but our 20s went bye-bye some time ago.
Undead Ramen makes an absolutely awesome comment here. I'm never pre-ordering anything ever again. 1, Friday the 13th lied and promised things on their website for a certain tier of supporters, such as extra game codes. 2, Fallout 76 was a mess, and Cyberpunk lied about so many things. First, it was about character cosmetics. What they considered huge bus is like a B cup. Finally, they stuck me in with a lie about multiplayer. And they were like, sorry.
Yeah. Huge bust is a B cup. I do. I'll give them credit for giving us male players the options of having 2 penis sizes. That was very generous of them.
So
yeah, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I just couldn't finish it.
Look, they were coming off of a huge amount of great content with The Witcher 3 and a lot of good faith.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Now, so you had a lot of good faith in the community because of The Witcher 3, and people just, me included, I'm throwing that in there. Absolutely. I was like, and I said it on this very show. I said, it's the people who made The Witcher 3. It's there. I'm going to pre-order it. It's that simple. I absolutely trust them. That was absolutely the wrong thing to say.
But now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Witcher 2 or Witcher 3? Did that have a little bit of a buggy mess upon launch as well?
It was a little off, but it wasn't anything like.
It wasn't Cyberpunk bad.
It wasn't Cyberpunk bad. CD Projekt Red had a lot of good grace within the gaming community, and they burned it. They burned it on Cyberpunk. It's like all that good gracing. All of it was.
It was all for nothing.
Yeah.
God, it was messy. Witcher 3 started messy. I remember the first time I played Witcher 2, I got like the Game of the Year edition for my 360 or something like that. Put it in, fired it up. I'm going through the tutorial. I'm probably like 15 minutes in, and then the fucking thing just froze. Like, okay, all right. Now I'll say that was probably an Xbox issue and not the software itself. But I'm still thinking, well, that's a mighty fine entry into the series for me, don't you think? So it was okay after that. But yeah, sometimes a first impression can really send your balls in a sling.
So, my female character had big boobs. I got Cyberpunk just a few weeks ago, and I had a 52 gigabyte update before I could play.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that was on a game system.
That's the other thing that scares me, because that initial download was a lot. So when I start thinking about the the update patches, I'm thinking, oh god, how long is this going to take? Who knows? Is a TV show based on the game? Not anymore.
The Red Ring of Death.
Ironically enough, I've only ever had one ring to rule them all. No, I've only ever had one red ring incident my entire life owning Xbox consoles, and that was way back on the OG 2002 2003 model. I was playing something, I forget what it was. I forget how long I was playing for, but the system froze and it red ringed, and I'm thinking, and this was a little bit back in the day before red rings were really becoming a thing. So I'm thinking, all right, this is a little bit strange. Didn't really know what to do. At the time, I had never really opened an Xbox at all, let alone more advanced consoles to begin with. So I shut everything down, unplugged everything, and all I did was let it sit there for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Plugged it all back in, fired up, and never had a problem with it since. And it's still working to this day.
Okay. So Ryan says, remember the days when you did not need a patch to play a game? I want to address that really quick. So we're going to go all the way back. Way motherfucking back.
Way back.
We're going to go back to Super Nintendo. And I know there were a few of these on Nintendo, but I had no idea that they existed or that anything was amiss until Super Nintendo. So Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo, which is Final Fantasy IV in Japan, there's a boss that you fight if and this is towards the middle of the game. I think it's the crazy doctor with the Frankenstein robot. If a certain thing happens, it sends everything into a perpetual loop, and it basically crashes the like mini save file on the cartridge, and you lose everything. Because of that and the unknown whether you're going to run into that or not, it didn't happen every time, but it had to be like a certain circumstance, but it would erase all the saves on your game cartridge.
Yeah.
Because of that, there is a 1.1 version of Final Fantasy II in the United States. So they had to patch that and fix that and keep that from happening, and then re-release the cart and pull all the old ones back. So it was like a recall where they recalled all of the cartridges. I was lucky enough that I played both versions. So I played the version I rented because I rented that for like a whole summer. I just kept renting it every time I went back to the video store. I rent
Yeah.
until I beat it. And then when I bought it, I got version 1.1. And I had no idea about that until I started messing with some of the coding in the cartridge games. And I was like, holy shit, okay, so there's two versions. There's a 1 and then there's a 1.1. Why is there a 1.1? And you start looking into this stuff and you're like, oh, well, because they messed up and they needed to be patched. But they had to just come up with a whole new cart.
Yeah.
They had to like recall the ones that hadn't sold and then sell all new carts.
Yeah. I mean, it was a crazy time back then. It was an expensive time, but I mean, that was back then it was a little different style of quality control and quality assurance. You know, times are obviously different now.
Yeah, low-key game sharking carts, yeah.
Yeah, I remember those. God.
It wasn't a Game Shark then, it was a Game Genie.
Game Genie by Galoob.
Okay, so if you put a Super Famicom cart into a Super Nintendo, it will not work. Even if you fall off the little bits to get the cart to fit, it still won't play. However, if you put the cart in a Game Genie and load the Game Genie first, it'll work.
There's always workarounds. Yeah. God, it's no wonder Game Genie kept getting in so much shit back then.
Makini Draw says the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era will always be the golden age of gaming for me. A lot of good games. A lot of good games that a lot of people look over today because they're like, oh my God, it's not top of the line shiny. Lots of good games, man.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be top of the line shiny, you know? That's why you can play a lot of 8-bit shit, a lot of 16-bit shit, and they still hold up. I mean, geez, like look at the speed running community for Mario and Metroid and everything. Like you could pick those up any day of the week. Like Mario 3 especially. I think a lot of the reason why I occasionally still go back to Mario 3 is because it plays well. It controls well. It still feels great to play, you know. But you can say that about a lot of games, even new ones.
Do you agree with this? DJ Ronnie G says they didn't recall games unless they absolutely needed to, and today's devs take updates for granted.
Yeah, well, because I mean, it's ease of access for them, right? You know, I mean, especially with how expensive productions are now to get things done, and you've got a time limit, even though, you know, the popular thing now seems to be to delay it. But there's a lot of chips that got to be put on the table for that to happen. It's like, well, why do you need to delay the game? Oh, well, this, and this. Okay, we'll give you 6 months to patch this out.
How many Star Wars fans were sitting on their couch playing the galactic mode in Battlefront 2 when it came out, the galactic takeover mode as the Empire going, I will be the past galactic empire. Dun, 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 dun.
You guys can't see it, but you'll be able to hear it. This right here. That's me clicking together my copies of Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
That sounded like something else entirely.
No, they were here.
Why is Zero bapping on Mornings of Mischief?
You'll be able to recognize this. Everybody who owns a case will know this sound. Hang on. There you go. That's anyway. It's
dude. When you're like, that doesn't sound like two cases
plastic.
Coming together.
It's plastic.
That's not what it sounds like. God. It sounds like you're doing something else.
Why don't you go call Lars and get him to give
PS2
you 2 cents on that?
PS2 still has most games and most sales of all. It's got an insane amount of games.
Yeah.
An insane amount of games.
They were firing those out left, right, and center on all cylinders.
What is, honestly, let's talk modern titles real here on the way out. I'm just going to say this. Look at the PS2 title. Go to a used game store. Go into any used game store and look at the Xbox rack, the original Xbox, OG Xbox. Look at the PS2 rack.
Mm-hmm.
And then go look at PS3 and 360. Yeah, there's a lot of games on there, but not nearly as many as the Xbox and the PS2. Then go look at PS4 and Xbox One and One S and all that shit. It's not nearly as much. Now go and look at PS5. I guarantee you it's going to be like one shelf.
Yeah.
Go look at Xbox Series X. And what is it going to have? One shelf.
Yeah. There's
You're
there's to pinpoint that there's 2 retro stores that I frequent in my town. They're both the same chain, so they're both dealt with the same. But PS2 racks are always loaded. Anything Xbox 1X and above is very, very limited. 360, you get a lot of repeats. PS2, you get a lot. But lately I've been finding it's just a lot of the generic, sports titles because you released 14 billion of those. But yeah, it's true, man. Like everything's got their huge fan base, and everything has always got a much larger supply than the others do.
DJ Ronnie G says, I really need to mod one of my 3 PS2s. Okay, so here's the deal. I have a PS2 Slim that I bought and it's really, really nice. It came in the box that it was originally in. The box is in good condition. The styrofoam's still in good condition. All of it. Oh yeah, I got it at the convention that we go to in Dallas and in Houston. So, and the Retro Palooza, I got it there. Absolutely great condition. What I did was I replaced the video out and I soldered in an HDMI, but I also replaced the disk drive with a SSD.
So you just Frankenstein the shit out of this thing.
Yeah, so you don't have to put a disk in. Basically, it's got 2 terabytes. It's got a 2 terabyte drive SSD, and you just play it. You just plug it in and play it. You don't have to disk. You don't have to do nothing. It's got cheat codes on there. You can do whatever you want.
Wow.
So there are videos on YouTube of how to do that. And what I suggest is if you find someone you find really interesting, watch how they do it. Maybe reach out, email them if they have an email on their YouTube. Email them, reach out, ask them for a little advice if you're unsure you want to do something that advanced. But I want to tell you, when you just hook that thing up to a TV and you hit the power button and everything's there, you don't have to worry about. Yeah, it's just plug and play.
Plug and play. That's great. Also,
and it's got all the PS2 games on it. So,
and if you're gonna go so far as to open all that shit up, ladies and gentlemen, check your thermal paste and check your capacitors, because you don't want rotten thermal paste, like 15-year-old thermal paste on there, because that's just gonna fry your insides, and then you're just left with a $200 hunk of plastic and metal.
Mahogany Draws with $5 super chat. Some of the most fun I've had in 2022 was when I decided to get that PSCX2 emulator. I've got that on my other PC too. So right now the computer I'm on, the older computer, it's not that bad. I can play Destiny in 4K. I have very little problems with that. It's usually that you can tell the frame rate's off. Because obviously I was playing at a very, very high frame rate before. Now I'm playing at like 50 to 60, but this thing's got an i7. It's got a GTX 1080. It's not
Decent?
a 1090, but it's a decent enough video card.
Yeah, it'll get the job done.
And Destiny only uses, even with everything turned on high, maxed out in 4K, it only uses like 4 gigs of the video card. It's using nothing.
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
32 gigabytes of 3600 RAM. That was gaming RAM when I got it. It's not gaming RAM anymore, but it was when I got it.
Yeah.
So
Good stuff. Don't eat the paste, Project Cambrian. That's bad. Paste is
no,
bad. Okay.
no, don't eat the paste.
Don't eat
Thermal
the paste.
paste? No.
Oh God, no. That's there to serve a purpose. Don't screw with that.
Mark's got a modded 64 that reads an SSD card.
My
Yeah.
God. So you can get around the load time, and the load times weren't even that bad. I mean, if you had the expansion drive in there, it wasn't that bad. But again, those were cartridges. I still kind of take those for granted because everything was right there. But
The hardest part of that PS2 was the soldering. After you get past that, it's like it's cakewalk, and you don't have to do the HDMI transfer the way I did it. There are other ways to do it. So there are other ways to work it. But if you want an old school system that is a little more modern, there are definitely ways to go about it to where you can make that thing better, and it's not as difficult as it seems. So putting the thermal paste on it is probably the hardest part outside of soldering. If you don't know what you're doing with your soldering, you definitely take it to a repair guy. Take it to a repair guy and go,
They'll know
look,
what
I
to
want to
do.
solder this here, and I want to do this. Watch this, and let them see what you want to do, and see if they'll do it. If they won't, whatever.
yeah,
But the soldering was the hardest part. Taking out the optical drive to read CDs and replacing it with a modern SSD, that wasn't that difficult.
nice. Mark the Infinitely Tired says I mod Antique Electronics. I'll tell you what, if I send you my old school NES top loader that only came with the RF switch, do you think you could pop an AV outlet in there for me?
Yes.
Outlet in there, inlet out there. I don't even know what I'm talking
Yeah, you can do that.
I know they're out there, but they're super expensive if you want to get one of the few that were released with the AV inputs. That's what kind of sucked about it.
So,
Anyway.
I had that.
Oh, of course, you had access to everything back then.
No. I've still got my Nintendo. You're talking about the yellow, white, red cable.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the other end of that, you didn't have at least we didn't. I don't know about you in Canada. I had one of the very first Nintendos. Back before you got like Track and Field and all that shit. All it had was Mario and Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
But there was a hookup you could hook in, and that led to your audio video out instead of using the RF connector.
Yeah. The no, what I was talking about is I still have the old school like full toaster box Nintendo. That one does have AV. But when I got my NES top loader, that was the refined version.
Oh yeah.
There were very few of those that actually came with the AV input. The rest were all standard RF, and I was only able to get my hands on the RF version. It's not a main thing. I just basically got that one, so I had, like a backup and another console to play on. Pretty much everything else still works fine. Like using RF for me doesn't really bother me. It still kind of looks like shit on modern televisions, but it's not the worst thing in the world for me because it still has the old school feel,
You can use a modded RCA jack if I'm not mistaken.
I just don't want to break anything. I've taken apart a lot of consoles, but I've never really fully modded anything before, but that'll be an adventure for another time. Woo,
Helion, welcome to the Warriors of Midgard. Thank you so very much.
Excellent.
You so very much. We're going to send out a Viking greeting for you on our way out of here. Here we
Cookies
go.
in the mail
to the Viking Horde. Skull! Oh my God, Loki, you've jumped around to so many different topics today.
That's kind of what we do.
So let me give you the rundown on Diablo. It looks great. It played good. The music was absolutely awesome. The cutscenes were great. I wouldn't expect anything less from Blizzard. The experience, however, with being online all the time sucked. but that's
Yeah.
because they weren't running on all cylinders. There was a couple of times over the weekend that it felt like, okay, everything's running great, and then you'd get knocked out, or you wouldn't be able to team up with somebody, or something would happen, and you're just like, okay, this is frustrating. I understand it's a beta, but it's so
Mhm.
frustrating.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, I'd give it a definitely needs more work, but that's because of gameplay. If this was a game you could play offline, you could just play it on your own, I wouldn't be saying some of this. But the constant, you've got to be online. We want you to pay for a battle pass. Oh, but it's only cosmetics. Low key. Still, it's the same shit.
Yeah. It's the
So,
same thing. Because I mean, you could still make that argument, like, oh well, the only things they're selling are cosmetic items. It's like, no, because I mean that's kind of just an easy way out now. Because I think you can take that overboard as well, and there are companies and games that have done that before. Are you sure we're not supposed to eat the paste? What if it's banana scented, buddy? If your thermal paste is banana scented, you've got big problems going on. I don't know where that's rough.
I watched Cocaine Bear, Gun Bunny, and I laughed my fucking ass off. There's a scene in Cocaine Bear where he tracks this guy up this tree and he bites his fucking leg off, right? And the guy falls out of the tree, he crushes his skull on the way down, and then the bear jumps down, and the guy was covered in coke. And the bear literally does a line off of the leg he bit off the guy.
Oh
So it's
my
the
God.
legs laying there. The bear jumps down out of the tree and is as he runs after
God.
another person, he snorts it off of the fucking leg of the guy.
Oh my
I
God.
laughed my ass off.
The shit they're coming out with now, man. My God. There we are, jumping topics again. What is the difference between beta and base? Are we talking beta access and base game?
Okay, so a beta, Helion, a beta is a game that is not done yet, and they are testing it to see what is wrong with it. So, over this weekend, the beta launch of Diablo is, hey, get on and test our game for us because we are lazy and don't have enough QA people to go through everything and check everything. So basically, you got a code from KFC because you eat a lot of fucking chicken, or you paid $100 for the super version of the game, which I did not do. I'm waiting because they want you to test their game for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they let everybody in to play a test version of it, and it's not done yet. It'll be done in June. If it is done in June, I doubt it's going to be all the kinks are going to be worked out. There's going to be emergency patches. There's going to be hot fixes. There's going to
A1
be
patches.
our server is down. And that's the thing. If any of that happens, you can't play the fucking game. So you've got some people pay $100 for this. You've got $100 game sitting there that you can't play because guess what? Servers are down. Or guess what? I'm fucking stuck in a queue. Or guess what? Error 37. Or guess what? A plethora of other problems because you've got to be on a server.
Yeah.
All you need to do was buy the base game. Oh, really? I thought you had to be in the $100 tier to get into the beta. Maybe that was maybe that was an earlier beta. I don't know. I ate, Shellback got it. Loki ate the chicken.
He ate Luther Vandross quantities.
I got the chicken code. I got the KFC code. I'm not spending $100 on it. I'm just not. I'll wait. Because I know what's gonna happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to buy that fucking Game Awards, and then the day it launches, when it's error 37, you cannot get online on this game. I'm going to pick up my fucking computer screen and chunk it across the room. And that might have worked when they were CRT displays, but this thing will shatter into a flash will go everywhere. There'll probably be a lithium battery link on my TV, and I'll get poisoned or some shit.
Don't play with the acid.
Yeah, don't play with the acid, kids.
I don't know. That's bullshit. I mean, I played with mercury as a kid when I broke thermometers on purpose, and I turned out fine. Fine.
Sure.
I am sure.
So I didn't know this beta was open to anyone who bought the game. I thought you had to buy the super expensive version.
Yeah, no.
I guess that was just Boogie telling me that. Oh, you gotta get the $100 edition. I'm not buying no fucking $100 edition, and I'm not gonna buy the $70 edition either. Not yet. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
I am,
but
because I'm gonna be pissed if I spend my money on it and I can't play that game when I want to. I'm gonna be pissed. I already get pissed off enough when Destiny goes down and it's like it will be a 2-hour wait as we hotfix the game. I'm like, fuck you, pieces of shit.
But Loki, the $90 versions are going to give you upgrades and gear upgrades and everything you need for more power.
I don't want that. I don't care. No, they aren't gonna nothing that affects the game. They're gonna give you some cosmetic shit, but nothing that affects power levels in the game. They know they can't ever get away with that. The buying power people are nuts, and they will. They'll spend $1 million on the damn game and then be like, I lost all my money. I have an addiction.
Yeah.
It's not because they don't want you spending money, because they do. It's that they don't want to get sued by making people more powerful in the game and someone maxing out their fucking credit card to be the best. Yeah. And then going, woe is me, and turning around and suing the gaming industry because they're a fucking crack addict.
No shit. It's worse than a crack addiction. It's horrible. Also,
back TJC, unlimited power. Unlimited power.
No, Project Cambrian. I use Speed Stick, Ocean Surf. Ocean Surf. Dean Krantz says I'm okay, but my grandchildren will have 3 assholes. Well, that is all depending on if I actually bear fruit of my loins.
I use Old Spice Kraken because I'm a motherfucking pirate, y'all.
Yar.
Yar.
I do say it was probably only a matter of time before a pirate waltzed his way in here after finishing all the rum on the poop deck.
Plus, they don't have like a biking version, so I'll just stick with Old Spice. I'm an old man now. I can do that.
You're not an old man. Don't give me that shit.
That's a symphony waiting to happen. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we're getting out of here. We're like almost 15 minutes back. We're in the overtime again. So we're getting out of here. Thank you so very much, everyone, for being here. Thank you. Huge thank you to the new members and to Larry for giving out the new memberships. You guys are absolutely great. Thank you guys so very much for your super chats this morning. McKinney Draws, killing it. Larry, you guys are absolutely burning it up here in the mornings. So I appreciate you so very much. Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. We'll see you guys in the next 0 hour. Take care, everybody.
Later, y'all.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.